And we're live. Rolling sound, rolling video.
On
the WWE Network. Yeah, we promote Sky a lot on this program. Even though I don't think we've ever seen actual programming from Sky. No, but we put them over. Yeah, absolutely. We put them over though.
Yeah.
If Austin's fine with them.
Yeah, I mean, we gotta be fine with what Austin's fine.
One would think so. Biggie, do you like beer?
Yeah.
You do? Okay. I don't know if you knew this or not, but our old buddy Stone Cold recently.
He has his own beer.
You heard about this?
No.
It's called Broken Skull IPA.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and you can not buy it right now because it's in such hot demand. What few pallets were produced are all spoken for. So yeah, somewhere down the road we'll be seeing some Austin beer in our shelves, maybe, and we'll be clinking cans together, hopefully by the end of 2016.
I love it, Michael.
I love it too. But going back to last week's episode of NXT, you mentioned how you showed the program to your woman for the first time. What was her reaction?
Well, wasn't too big of a fan of the hype bros. Maybe a little too hype.
Because they don't just get hype. They
stay hype. We just can't let ourselves get too hype right now.
Yeah.
Gotta keep it down.
Professional program.
Yeah.
but they are extremely hype. It's hard not to get a little bit worked up.
Yeah.
Because despite the fact that Zack Ryder, I don't know what Vince thinks about him on the main roster, not much apparently, but he's doing business in NXT. And every time he goes out there, he wrestles good matches. I get that it's not for everybody, that it can be a little bit too hype.
Yeah.
They do stay hype, extremely hype. But when they're on, the hype bros, like, I don't see them being NXT champions or anything, but they're
definitely entertaining.
Yeah, exactly. They're a good, entertaining tag team. And Bayley's good with anybody because she's Bayley.
Pretty much. I honestly didn't see her teaming up with anyone other than the Hype Bros when she was looking for partners. Like, it didn't surprise me one bit.
Well, they're basically the only babyface tag team that I know of.
Mm-hmm.
In NXT, really. Yeah. Effectively. Cass and Enzo, but they already have Carmella.
Yeah.
And we won't be seeing Cass and Enzo together for a while.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, because Big Cass has hurt his knee, and he's going to need a few months to recover, and you can't teach that.
No.
You also can't teach Dash and Dawson to wrestle the way they did, because in a stunning upset victory, the Vaudevillains dropped their titles to what's turning out to be one of NXT's hottest new tag teams. Well, they're the champions now. Talk to me, what do you see as their kind of trajectory in the near to distant future? Are they a tag team that's going to make big splash on the WWE main roster, or are they just going to sort of flounder in NXT? Or are they going to go the Ascension route, get the call up, get a little bit of a push, and then become absolute jobbers?
I feel like they might go the Ascension route. I don't know if, like...
If they go the Ascension route, does that mean Ascension themselves will become elevated?
Maybe. I mean... Who knows? They might just stay the same.
Maybe.
But I feel like they're half decent on the mic and in promos and stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel like they could be a little better in that regard.
They're only going to get better with time.
Yeah, of course.
Even Ascension gets better week by week.
And who knows? Maybe now that they're the champions, they'll step up their game.
Excellent point. Yeah, when you have the title around your waist, you're under a lot of pressure to perform, and 9 times out of 10, when someone gets a title, it elevates them to actually perform better. It's pretty rare. I can't really think of too many examples off the top of my head, any examples, of someone who got strap put on them and then became worse. Aside from Daniel Bryan, but he got injured. That's not the same thing. He got physically worse.
I feel like... Well, I guess it's not so much once he got the title, but Ryback a little bit after he had the Intercontinental title for a while.
Maybe it was just like there wasn't really a suitable opponent for him.
Yeah, that's true.
Not really, for whatever reason, they cut the nuts off of Barrett, and Barrett is just not a threat anymore.
Yeah, I know, which is unfortunate. Except for when he's with Sheamus.
Exactly.
Then he's somewhat of a
threat.
Except for Dwayne Rooney.
Yeah, exactly. Wayne Rooney just slaps them all across England. And Sheamus is just about the least threatening Money in the Bank holder in a while.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, is he ever going to cash it in, or is he just going to hoard his pot of gold?
He might be the first person to let it expire.
Can it?
I like to think that it does. Because then the next Money in the Bank pay-per-view... What if he keeps it to the next Money in the Bank pay-per-view and we have 2 Mr. Money's in the Bank?
Is that possible?
It's never happened before, but then again, no one's ever cashed in successfully at WrestleMania before Seth Rollins, so who knows? It's kind of
Could
ridiculous.
happen.
Could. And then there become a tag team of both Mr. Money in the Banks?
Oh my god, him and Barrett. They both somehow just like get put in a match together and then work with each other to both become Mr. Money in the Bank.
And they're both...
And then they just have a tag team.
The Money in the Bank All-Stars.
Oh yeah.
That's so silly, but they might do it actually.
Yeah,
They very well might.
I could see-
Vince, don't do that one. Don't do that one. We're spitballing. Don't do that one. I know it does potentially work on paper.
Do it with PTP.
Give them both of them Mr. Money in the Bank briefcases.
Although,
Oh yeah, well they do make $1 million moves, so it kind of
Oh,
makes
yeah.
sense from a kayfabe perspective. You're right.
although I guess they already have won Money in the Bank before.
The PTP,
Yeah, haven't they?
Money in the Bank.
I thought
I
so.
don't know. Like I don't recall. People like Kane, Miz, Edge, CM Punk, John Cena, Randy Orton, all Seth Rollins, all past Mr. Money in the Bank. I don't think PTP.
Oh.
Daniel Bryan. But anyway, aside from the Vaudevillains dropping their titles to a dominant-looking tag team, we saw another dominant performance from, can we call Nia Jax the big girl? Just because Ryback's the big guy? I don't mean that in any sort of derogatory way.
No.
Just because that she's being booked in a similar sort of Ryback way, like a
Yeah.
powerhouse.
Yeah.
And we like just calling people the big whatever.
I love powerhouses.
Yeah.
Even with divas, it's always nice to see.
Because they're kind of uncommon.
hmm And, Tamina doesn't get very much action on Raw.
She doesn't, which is a crying shame.
unfortunate. Yeah.
I agree. So let's talk about Nia Jax's potential future. Is she going to be someone who's going to be Divas champion or NXT Women's champion anytime soon?
I could see it happening, and after the confrontation with Bayley and Alexa Bliss, backstage, it seemed like she was coming for that title because she has just been bodying people for weeks.
She has. What he's referring to is Bayley was just walking around backstage where she gets laid out by Alexa, and Alexa gloats over the fallen title, and then Nia Jax gloats over the fallen title. And we also saw there's that brief segment where Nia was conspiring with Eva Marie, NXT's top heel right now.
Yeah.
So does that mean that Nia Jax is going to do... Because she hasn't done anything dirty yet. She's been a Brock Lesnar type of heel, just a powerhouse, doesn't actually cheat.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think she'll start cheating soon? Or she's going to become dirty? What's the trajectory, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. What's going to happen to her?
Maybe will they join together in a Brock Lesnar Paul Heyman type deal?
Is she going to join with actual Brock and Paul, or is she going to have a Paul Heyman type of person that represents her, an advocate?
Yeah, Paul Heyman type of person.
Who could that be?
I have no idea.
Would it be a woman or a man?
A woman.
Okay. Like Lana?
Could be, because she hasn't been doing anything, not since the kayfabe destruction.
Yeah, and she can't really be put back with Rusev because of aforementioned kayfabe destruction.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe, we're spitballing here. Why not? Honestly, Lana
is pretty good in
Yeah.
the ring, and
and she's promoted a big powerhouse before, so she knows how to say big powerhouse. And Lana promoting Nia Jax.
Nia Crush.
Exactly, Machka. Lana promoting Nia Jax. It sounds better on paper than 2 Mr. Money in the Banks
Yeah.
by a country mile. Is there
But
anything
it could happen one day.
Of course.
You never know what could happen in sports entertainment.
You could allow Kane to walk out on Monday Night Raw wearing half a wig. Anything could happen. As crazy as that sounds. That would never happen, honestly.
No. He's just got a big bald spot on the back of his head. His hairline receded the opposite way.
He's a demon. Can't explain that.
No.
Is there anything else that warrants explaining from the NXT program? Other than the fact that we're obviously going to see a Joe versus Finn Balor NXT title match soon, I guess?
Yeah, I wonder where the thing with Apollo Crews and Baron Corbin is going to go, though. I assume, they might have a match later, or is Apollo Crews just going to go straight back to the title after that?
Baron Corbin's going to put Apollo over.
Yeah. And then he's going to go back for
Yes.
the title.
Yes, and that's
In the meantime, Joe's going to take the title and or fight for the title.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, we're on the same page with that.
Yeah.
All right, moving right along to SmackDown this week. Off the hop, what was the big standout from SmackDown? What was the most memorable moment?
Most
I know
memorable
mine was.
moment? I'd probably say the King Barrett and Neville match for me. It was pretty good.
Neville looked great, didn't he?
Yeah.
He sold for a little bit, let Barrett get his offense in, and then Neville did his stuff. All of it. Barrett put him over in true gentlemanly fashion. And then Undertaker came out, seemed to be lost, and Barrett helped him find his way. And that's really all there's to be said about that. Speaking of Undertaker, now that it's been all said and done from the past few days in WWE, we know for a fact that Survivor Series is going to be the Brothers of Destruction, Kane and Undertaker, taking on two members of Wyatt's choosing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking it's probably going to be Wyatt and Strowman.
Yeah, Strowman's got to be in there.
You would
somehow.
think, yeah. Because those are the two guys that they want to elevate as kind of like the new Taker and Kane.
Yeah.
Right?
It sure seems that way right now.
Somewhat.
And then, I don't know, Luke Harper and Eric Rowan are just kind of
B
there.
team.
Yeah.
They're Undertaker Kane version 3. The C-level Undertaker and Kane. Can we? I think
if Bray and Strowman are the new faces of Fear Me, they're just the new faces of kind of weird.
faces of weird, pretty much.
Well, because they are just. Well, I mean, I guess all the Wyatts kind of are just.
They're all really.
odd.
They're all quite weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Follow the buzzer. I think we can agree that Taker and Kane are going over. They're just teasing. When has Bray Wyatt ever beaten anybody? He beat Ryback on a pay-per-view back in July, I believe. Remember?
I don't remember.
They had a very brief program.
Yeah, I mean, that's maybe why I don't remember it.
It was brief and forgettable, and Bray went over.
And then, other than that, he hasn't really beat anyone in a fair match. He's usually just, gang beat people with his whole family out of nowhere.
You're right. And that makes him look bad, Vince.
Yeah.
If you want us to believe that he's a big powerhouse and he's a terror, he has to beat somebody, and not just Fandango.
Also, what's up with, him supposedly eating Kane and Undertaker's souls and having their power, and then he just got laid out by them?
It's because WWE's writers think we're stupid, and we're going to forget that stuff. That we're going to forget all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I guess so. They're like, oh wait, we have to bring him back because it's the anniversary. We can't just feed him to Bray Wyatt and call it a day.
Unfortunately not. And now that Undertaker and Kane are kind of... It seems like they're on sort of their exit tour.
Mm-hmm.
Where's it stop, though? After this match, are they going to trot them through Are they going to trot them through a program against each other?
I hope... Well, I kind of hope not. I would be happy with it just ending after, a good feud with the Wyatts.
Just ending straight up?
Well, if they wanted to, because, they've been there for a long time.
You're right.
And it is, the 25th anniversary, so...
Mm-hmm. It's a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Who should Undertaker's last match be against, though, in a perfect world? Ric Flair's was against Shawn Michaels, and I think Undertaker deserves somebody of that caliber. Will it be Triple H? Sting?
You're right, maybe Kane and Undertaker would have a good final, thing together. But I also couldn't see it happening, with them teaming up right now. Unless they just, all of a sudden they want to fight each other too.
It's not like Vince needs any provocation. He just throws stuff at the wall and...
It hopes it sticks.
By God. I think a really cool final match would be Undertaker versus Sting. Both their final match.
Yeah, that would actually be really good.
Maybe for WrestleMania.
It was unfortunate that the match between Sting and Seth got cut short, because that was a really good match.
It really was, yeah. Sting definitely still has it. It's just a matter of whether he can get his body back in time for WrestleMania. I hope he does. I really, really hope he does. That's a match that we can... Can we safely say that's a match that'll happen at WrestleMania?
Yeah, I feel like it'll happen.
Okay. Will there be any sort of special stipulation? Or just a singles match? I think it'll just be a regular singles match, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Later on, we're talking about Raw now, right? Is there anything else on SmackDown that warrants mentioning? Oh yeah, of course. There was the match with Alberto Del Rio and Stardust, which basically just amounted to, a fair amount of nice little offense from Stardust, but then a really cringy finish where Stardust just allowed himself to get just in the right position so that Alberto Del Rio could stomp him.
Well, I mean, he was wearing the Ascension's costume. Well, it was sort of the Ascension's costume in the promo, so maybe he jobbed out like them, which is sad to say.
Yep,
but
it is.
It's true.
But it's totally true. I can't argue with that whatsoever. Also in the program, we saw a match between the Wyatt family's Harper and Rowan and the newly brought back into WWE Usos, which in all seriousness was an excellent match. Absolutely excellent. The Usos looked fantastic. It was actually the best match I've seen them ever wrestle. They were just absolutely on point, and Harper and Rowan made them look great. And the match ended with the Wyatt family interfering and Undertaker basically declaring that he would accept their challenge. And that was the end of SmackDown. I think SmackDown really was just an opportunity for us to see Neville go over and for Stardust to look like a big bitch.
Pretty much.
Moving on to Raw, off the top of the program, we saw, 15 or 20 minutes of Bray Wyatt and Undertaker, just silliness. It was just, we've seen so much of it now, that it's kind of, lost its luster. And I mentioned before, Kane's mask and wig combo looked awful.
Yeah, it looked really bad. I think he should... I actually really liked when Kane just had, he was just bald and had, the contacts in. Yeah. That looked really good, too.
Absolutely. Why doesn't he do that again?
Yeah.
This just looks terrible. Why doesn't he go back to that Kane? That was still Demon Kane.
Yeah, exactly.
Vince, help us out here, pal. We need you. Later on in the program, normally, as soon as the show opens, we get a match, and then there's a Divas match, but that was not the case on Raw this week. The first match of the night was KO versus Neville, in a match where I don't think anybody is all surprised that Kevin goes over, with a pop-up powerbomb out of nowhere.
Just totally laid out Neville. He just corpsed after the pop-up powerbomb.
Bye, Neville.
Bye-bye.
After that, it was... excuse me, but did Del Rio wrestle last night? And who was he facing off against?
Kalisto.
Oh, yeah, of course. Much better match. The match that Del Rio wrestled against Stardust last week on SmackDown was unremarkable, and the finish was awful.
Yeah.
And the match he had with Kalisto was better, but I think anybody who watched the match, the one thing they'll remember was the fact that Del Rio nearly, or I guess he did, rip off Kalisto's mask for a moment.
Oh, yeah.
Was that intentional?
I don't think it was. It looked like he maybe went to, just mess with it a little. He was like, I'm going to take it off. But he kind of just pulled it off and was like, whoa.
Yeah, I'm really not sure, to be honest.
Yeah.
I could go either way on that one. I wish I knew. Don't think we will find out, but...
Only Vince knows.
Only Vince knows, because I'm sure he had a little chit-chat with Alberto after the match.
Yeah.
Maybe. So, yeah, Alberto goes over, and he'll be facing off against the winner of the match that happened later on in the night, which was the Swiss Superman facing off against the pretty one, Rock's cousin. And the Rock's cousin didn't need any help, but Cesaro was offered a little bit of help from the boss, Triple H.
A little bit of help.
Yeah, where the boss, Triple H, pulled up the chair to him, and it's just like, you know what, Cesaro? I think this is your time to grab the bass ring there, buddy. Everyone knows you're World Heavyweight Championship. And it went on and on and on and on and on. And then Cesaro couldn't win. Vince, what more does Cesaro need to do? Honestly, why can't he win? I don't know what else to say. I think that...
It seems like a lot of people want him as champion, but...
But his window's closing, man.
Yeah, I know.
If he doesn't get a serious contention at the title sometime within the next... I would say 6 to 8 months, I feel like the time to promote him as a top-tier star will have passed.
Yeah, I feel
because people won't take him seriously then.
I also feel like if Seth comes back, it's going to be really hard for Cesaro as well.
Imagine a Seth versus Cesaro program, though.
That would be awesome. I think they've had matches before, haven't they?
Yeah, and they're always good.
Yeah.
But like that's your top heel and top babyface as far as I'm concerned. There's no reason why they shouldn't be. They both have just the right level of kind of cockiness.
Yeah.
That they could potentially have good promos.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure WWE could come with some sort of creative to whip up some sort of angle for them. But I'm just spitballing. It's just something I'd like to see.
Yeah.
I would just like Cesaro to win and be in a high-profile program. But right now, I guess it's not on the cards.
No, unfortunately.
Yeah. In that match,
cousin.
Yeah. In that match, Cesaro beat the dog meat out of Rock's cousin for about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And then Roman hit him.
We got some ooh-ah.
Hit him with a hair flip. See you later. So it's going to be Roman against Alberto Del Rio at Survivor Series this weekend in the first semifinal match. The winner of that match will face the winner of the match of Kevin Owens, who defeated Neville, and the other Survivor Series tournament match of the night, which was Dolph Ziggler, the show-off, facing off against I think Dean is honestly even the prettier one because I can't even deny it. The girls go crazy for him. So against the even prettier one, Dean Ambrose. And I think this may have been the match of the night.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Like, it was just non-stop action.
And for a guy like Dean, who I guess I don't want to say he has a reputation for wrestling matches which aren't particularly interesting, but that has been somewhat the conventional logic about Dean. Just because, not that Dean lacks the charisma or the knowledge or the experience. It's just for whatever reason, I never was super compelled by his matches. Unless, you know what, he had good matches with Luke Harper all the time.
Yes, I really agree with that. Him and Luke Harper always seem to have good matches together.
But Luke has good matches with everybody.
That's true.
He's an exceptionally talented worker.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a feeling that his coworkers in WWE really appreciate the way that he sells for them and
oh yeah,
does everything that he does.
His selling is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Selling that Superman punch a few weeks ago, just
amazing. Next level selling. So yeah, in that match, which went about 15 minutes, Dolph got most of the offense, I think. Don't you think?
Yeah, he got in most of the offense, but then Dean just out of nowhere lunatic lariat and then into the dirty deeds.
It was one of the few times the lunatic lariat actually somewhat made sense.
Oh yeah.
Dolph kind of sold it the right way, I thought. So yeah.
Because he turned around at like the last second and then boom.
Mm-hmm. So it's going to be Dean facing off against Kevin, and Roman facing off against Alberto. And the winner of those two matches will face each other for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship later that night. And I think we can agree it's going to be a Dean and Roman finish.
Yeah, I think we can. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. But, it could possibly be KO. But I could also, more so see it being Dean and Roman.
So I guess the obvious question is who goes over that? Dean versus Roman. Who's going to become the WWE World Heavyweight Champion on Sunday night?
I feel like it's going to be Roman at this rate.
Because,
Cesaro was so over. But it just didn't happen.
Didn't happen. So, which leads me to the question, if Roman goes over, does that mean he's going to keep the title all the way to WrestleMania?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Yeah, I'd have to agree, to be honest with you. So, if Roman keeps the title all the way to WrestleMania, what's the main event for WrestleMania? A now heel Dean Ambrose versus against Roman?
That would be really good.
Okay.
I'd buy that for $9.95.
You will get your wish. 2016, I think.
Oh, yeah.
So that covers that. Let's talk about the Divas for a minute. What was your takeaways from everything we saw regarding the Divas last night?
I mean, it was pretty basic. Just, usual contract signing, and then Paige just kind of went off on Charlotte, and then they fought, and they had to get the refs to pull them apart, but I mean, I feel like that's a usual contract signing these days.
It is. What was your opinion of the way Paige incorporated Charlotte's untimely deceased brother?
I mean, I didn't have any problems with it. Definitely brings tons of heat.
Do you think the match that they're going to have on Sunday night will live up to the billing?
I really hope so.
It's vital. It's absolutely vital because Nikki Bella versus Charlotte is one thing, but Paige has had a lot more expectation put on her.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no reason why they shouldn't have a classic match on Sunday night.
Mm-hmm. And I hope it is because, they didn't even have a match on SmackDown, and then we just get a contract signing on Raw, and I guess, who knows, maybe they're just practicing a lot. So
Maybe.
Hopefully it will be a good match.
Hopefully, getting everybody rested and ready.
Yeah.
So who's going to become the Divas champion on Sunday night?
I feel like Charlotte might hold on to the title
Really?
a little longer.
Okay.
Maybe.
So if she holds on to the title, will she hang on to it all the way to WrestleMania?
Possibly. I could also see Paige taking the title and then Charlotte coming back for it.
At WrestleMania?
Maybe at WrestleMania or sometime before then.
What do you see as that WrestleMania main event for the Divas title?
Sasha Banks.
Yes, put it on the board. Put it on the board. Put it on the board.
Wait, versus?
Well, here's
I
the
guess.
thing. Here's the thing. So let's say, for example, Paige goes over and becomes a new Divas champion. And then all of a sudden, there's going to be a really hot fight for the new number one contender. And I have a feeling Sasha will come out on top as the new number one contender. And then Sasha will face Paige, I think. It's going to be Sasha and somebody. Either her or Charlotte. You tell me who you think.
I could see Paige and Sasha.
Put it on the board.
All right. Let me get some. Let me erase it up.
So aside from the contract signing, other matches from Raw last night were the Dudley Boys defeating Ascension fairly soundly in a nice promotional match for this week's NXT, where Ascension will almost certainly be putting Chad Gable and Jason Jordan over in what will assuredly be a really fun and memorable match, hopefully. Also from last night, we saw Dean Ambrose promise that if he becomes WWE World Heavyweight Champion, that he'll replace Michael Cole with a fish tank.
Oh yeah.
Which one can only hope will actually happen, at least for one episode, minimum.
That just sold me on wanting Dean to be the champion, but I still feel like
We might have to wait till WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And then Dean will win the championship, and then Sheamus will come out.
Hopefully-
Babyface Sheamus, though.
It'd be a shameful thing.
It would
if
be.
It wasn't.
It would be. It would be. Exactly right. Zeb Coulter talking about Mex America, and Alberto following suit. Anything else, really, from last night's Raw? I think we covered pretty much everything, to be honest.
Yeah, I feel like that's pretty much it. Just the. Did we talk about? Oh yeah, we talked about Bray Wyatt and Kane and all that.
There is one last thing, and that was the nightly New Day segment.
Oh yeah.
New Day, the WWE Tag Team Champions, faced off against the Big Guy and the Usos in a 6-man tag, and it ended with Ryback going crazy and trying to eat everybody.
Yeah, he was too hungry waiting for the tag, so
Yeah.
he just lost it, and Big E's booty just made him too thirsty.
Too thirsty. But that's what Biggie does. That's how he. I mean, it's just the booty at work.
It happens to everybody. Happens to
Most
the
people.
best of us.
Most people. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You saw the audience and the children pop huge for the booty.
Yeah.
So tag team championships. I think it's a safe bet that New Day is going to hang on to them for a while. Will they have them at WrestleMania?
If they still continue to be as over as they are now, then I could see it happening. But I feel like the Usos are making a pretty good comeback.
They are. So what do you, just spitballing, rapid fire question of the evening number 1, what do you think that tag team final is going to be at WrestleMania?
Ooh, I could see it. I could see it either being the Usos. I was thinking maybe the Dudleys, but they haven't really been too relevant recently, other than just dropping the Ascension.
You're right.
And I wonder why. They had the whole feud between New Day with the Save the Tables. And all
Dudleys
that,
are just here to put people over, I think.
Yeah.
They're going to pay top dollar, and they're fine with it.
It didn't even seem like that feud got resolved. It
No.
was like they just
Gave
forgot
up.
about it.
They got laid out alongside Ziggler and Cena, and they're like, no, they're too tough.
Yeah.
We'll just go and defeat
Our
Ascension.
kayfabe isn't strong enough
Not yet.
right now.
But I'm sure they'll win another tag title later down the road.
Oh, yeah.
But not to New Day, I don't think.
No, I don't.
They're too strong.
So.
My WrestleMania prediction?
Oh my God.
Can you see it happening?
Yeah, I could see that.
I think it'll be Harper. No, excuse me. It'll be Wyatt and Strowman. Because Wyatt and Strowman, I have high hopes for them together. I feel like they could actually become like a legitimate threat as a team together.
Mm-hmm.
Just Strowman just needs to get a little bit more work in the ring and get comfortable. That's all.
I want to see more matches with Luke Harper and Eric Rowan because they're just a great combination.
The tag team division looks incredibly strong right now in WWE. The plans and the foundation that Triple H have set in motion, so far so good. And with the NXT crop of tag teams coming up on the horizon, they all look strong.
Oh, yeah.
I guess to finish the program tonight, I guess the last 2 questions are number 1. What do you see being the main event for the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania? Is Kevin Owens still going to be the champion? If so, who's he going to face? Could you see some other star being elevated to the Intercontinental Championship level?
I don't feel like at the moment I can really see anyone else holding the Continental title right now. I don't know, but I don't feel like anyone who would be vying for it would be strong enough currently to take on Kevin Owens.
This might sound crazy, but this is my idea. Kevin versus Tyler Breeze.
I'd be okay with that.
I just feel like that's I don't know why, but
in Canada.
Yeah, the All Canada Intercontinental title final would be amazing, and I feel like that's kind of what he's being groomed for right now, is a high-profile feud.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm putting it on the board.
Do it up.
While I put that on the board, last question of the night. What about the United States title? Del Rio going to remain? If so, is he going to defend at WrestleMania? And if so, against who?
John Cena.
Aww, come on. Why do you have to make that good prediction, the good, realistic, believable prediction?
Notice how he's been gone for a while. We haven't heard the...
Nope, he's making movies.
Movies?
With Nikki.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. But seriously, then he's making a movie.
So is Randy.
That's right. And he got married last week.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to the Viper! He's a husband Viper now. God, his rules and his wife. And finally, what are we saying for that U.S. title, bud? I don't think Randy's going to come back. And if not, even if he does, he will, but not anywhere anytime soon. And he's not going to be in the U.S. title picture.
No.
Del Rio hasn't lost to anybody since coming back. And you know what? You know what I think who he'll lose to?
Who?
Rusev.
Yes. But, yeah, what has Rusev been up to?
He's injured. He got an injured bicep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, that'd be nice. Good return for him. Rusev and John Cena put on really good, lengthy matches, and it was, I don't know, it'd be nice to see that again.
Is he going to be facing Del Rio, or is he going to be facing Cena for that United States title, is the question.
Probably Del Rio. Unless Cena comes back, in which case, sorry, ADI. Bye-bye.
You're done. You're going to get hit with an AA or two.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's just, looking at that, do you think Vince McMahon could see this as his WrestleMania lineup and think to himself, yeah, that's good, that'll draw money?
The wild McMahon is a mysterious creature.
Very rarely observed outside his natural environment.
No. But it looks pretty damn good to me.
Yeah.
I love it, Michael.
I love it too. You might think it's trash.
Yeah.
You might love it. Regardless, let us know.
Yeah.
Leave a comment below. Even if you watch this episode years down the road, leave a comment down below. Why not?
Like, favorite, subscribe.
Yes, and check me out on Twitter at Dick City Viper.
Oh, yeah.
Anything else?
We done?
Yeah, we done.